Hey everyone, Christopher Beast here. In today's video, I'll be reviewing what information was covered in the April 28th dev stream, or dev stream number 34. I know I'm really late to the game on this one, but since it was such a major dev stream with so much information, even though I'm late, I still think this video is important, and I want to make sure that I covered everything they covered, because it is a pretty long dev stream, and I have a tendency of making really long amounts of information be covered in a very short amount of time. And I think the entire community needs to get this information. So, the dev stream was held by Alexander Semenov, Pyreet, and Zane, who are all cool members of the dev team, and they covered not only information about the new season, but also answered many questions and comments that the community had. Much like the previous dev stream I covered, dev stream number 32, this dev stream saw a tremendous increase in the amount of information that we've been getting as opposed to earlier dev streams. So, early into the stream, Zane stated that the devs are working on new maps for Shootout and Elim, something that I was very happy to hear, stating that they are aware that each mode only has one map at the moment and that they want to give people who play these modes something to look forward to. They then followed this up where they commented that the feature map will now be rotating every 2 weeks as a response to the community feedback that this was something they wanted. I've been hearing this all over Twitter and really over existence, that people want the featured map to rotate maybe weekly or bi-weekly, and the fact that the devs listened so quickly into the season is amazing to see. Next thing, we also see with the return of Season 8, the return of 2 POIs, and the devs clarified why they did this. And it's obvious why they did this. It was so many people were screaming about wanting the 2 POIs to return, including myself. So, Alexander was the person who was playing in the dev stream, and he was a very interesting player to watch, very aggressive, and I would love to play some duos with him because that's my type of player. But moving on to actual content again, Zane then clarified why they nerfed XP on crates. And in case you don't know, the amount of XP you get from opening crates as of Season 8 has been dramatically reduced as opposed to earlier seasons. They explained that they did this because they wanted to increase the worth of other parts of the game as opposed to just crates. And to me, this makes a decent amount of sense considering that you can get crates from a lot of things now, including shootout crates, food, and you can just get weight crates and spam those, as well as having giant stashes of crates. He also stated that they buffed XP on everything else in the game, specifically noting that Lone Wolf's XP has been dramatically increased because he wants to put more focus on these parts of the game, such as looting, Lone Wolf, and just things that people don't really pay as much attention to in the devs' eyes. Alexander then stated that they finally fixed Safe, and in case you didn't know what this means, Safe has for the longest time not really scaled with the boosters. Either it was random, like you could get 100 booster and get more loot out of the 100% booster than you get out of like 150, or it was just not affected, and it was something that was very not fun to deal with. So the devs have finally fixed this issue and made it so that way safes now actually scale with boosters directly, as opposed to not really being important. It's really great to hear, as combined with the crate XP nerfs, I think people will actually care about boosting loot again, which really hasn't been a thing since, honestly, 1.1 was the last time I've seen a lot of people boosting loot. And boosting loot also will mean, increased spawns of weapon boxes and, spawns inside of like cars and stuff, which is all going to be good stuff for those early game players who are looking to upgrade their shelters. Moving from here, Alexander then stated that he considers a limit to the amount of consumables people can bring in to be something that he supports. And if you don't know, this is something I very much support. His reasons are very similar to my own, in that he sees dupers as a massive issue in the game, and that the abuse of consumables, specifically noting armor plates and portables, can ruin the match and gameplay flow. This is something I completely agree with on him, and I'm very hopeful that there will be fixes regarding this, because he's directly stated that there will be discussions among the devs to fixing these systems in the future. Continuing on, Pyreet confirmed that a bug that we've kind of heard some rufflings about, I haven't really heard that much about it, that some people's shooting range progress has been completely wiped. The devs are aware of it, they are working on fixing it. To be honest, I haven't checked my shooting range, and I'm kind of scared now that I'm going to get on today, and my beautiful times are going to be reset. I'd be very sad, but hopefully they're not, and hopefully none of you guys have been affected by this bug, but if you are, they are looking into fixing it. Pyreet also confirmed that they're very much looking forward to crossplay, and there was a part where both Zane and Alexander made some quick statements about it. Zane is on Xbox, he's an Xbox player like myself, while Alexander is a PlayStation player, and they basically were like, yeah, I would like to play with each other. It was quite a little interesting statement. Pyreet confirmed that this weekend would have been a double XP weekend, which it is. I'm just very late on this video. There was some rumblings during the 30-second dev stream that the XP weekend would have been that weekend, but it wasn't, and the devs clarified that this was just a slip of the tongue. They didn't mean to say that they meant it for this weekend. Alexander also stated that he wants to address the H-bar. And in case you don't know really what that means, the H-bar is meta, and the H-bar is a massive issue due to its high damage, high rate of fire, and easy-to-use existence. And he states that really there needs to be some changes to the H-bar SG1 meta, and that he will be looking to try and get these changes. Hearing this from a dev on a dev stream may have made me shed a couple tears. I am a player who's been playing since 0.8, and the meta has not really changed in any real meaningful way since 4.0. And seeing that there's a chance that the meta might actually get stepped on here and die is something that's, I can't elaborate exactly how happy that's making me feel. He then addressed that he wants to really start with buffing weapons. He specifically cited the VSS's damage drop-off, and really damage drop-off as a whole, stating that it's a little too violent right now, and he really wants to make weapons better at longer ranges. Again, specifically focusing on the VSS losing half damage at very small amounts of range, despite it being a rifle. Finally, he finished his statement about changing the meta and fixing things with it by addressing armor plates, which armor plates are an issue that most of the community agrees needs to be fixed in the most prompt, fast way possible. And Alexander agreed that armor plates need to be addressed and they need to be fixed with some haste. Zane then followed up with a pretty long statement that I tried to summarize in my notes, but I'm going to be honest, I love Zane, but I really don't know what he was trying to say here. I talked to some of my fellow partners, and they say he basically was trying to say he agreed with everything Alexander just said without saying it. And I kind of agree with that, but Zane was just kind of, I think it was because it was the end of the dev stream, and they were getting tired, and it makes sense, but it was just a very long statement, and I'm hoping in a future dev stream we get a solid stance from Zane, exactly what he thinks about the meta and fixing it. Zane then pulled up a question about lore, and I love lore. I love lore, which then he did something amazing. He goes, lore, it's real. And you know how it's real? It's hidden in the map design, which I've been telling people since I became a partner. And then he was like, kind of vibing, and then Alexander was like, yeah, lore is real. And then Zane was like, yeah, there's some great partners and people who make theories like Chris Beast. And, that nerd inside me who I don't know how to say how happy that made me feel. I went to my Discord, screamed in all caps, yeah! That's the best explanation I can give. He said I was not only a good source for theories and lore and stuff, so you should go check out Chris Beast. He's cool. I know, I'm insane. I'm actually insane. But, the self-centered statement aside, that is it for this dev stream. A massive information dev stream from both Alexander and Zane with a lot of hopeful statements that if they become reality, 8.1, 9.0, we could see massive improvements to the game. And if you're a Vigor player, you're probably very happy right now like I am. But that is it for today's video. I look forward to the future, and I look forward to the next dev stream because the devs confirmed we're going to be having weekly dev streams now. But until next time, guys, this has been Chris Beast, and I'll see you all next time.